Hey everybody,
Hi.
it's Joanne.
And Giselle.
Just two sisters on a podcast, ready to discuss any and everything.
Welcome back to your morning cup of
Joe.
and Jiz. Let's get into it.
All right.
So.
Yes. Any raves? How's your week?
Oh, yes.
How was your week?
Let's see. We went back up to the mountain last weekend, and it was really fun because I hit a box for the first time. And if you don't know what that means,
It's like, I'm confused. You're going to have to explain box for me.
It's basically like a ramp,
Okay.
if any skateboarders or, how they like jump on a ramp, they slide on it and then they jump back off.
Yeah. Okay.
So a box is essentially you just slide on and slide off. There's no jumping. It's like a starter to that, like step one.
Okay.
So
you're just like gliding
yeah,
on it
yeah,
and then off.
yeah.
Okay.
But you have to make sure, like your balance and whatever. There's like a trick to it. But yeah, I felt really cool.
Yay!
Yeah, so that was a big accomplishment. It was fun. I shouldn't be doing all this because if I break anything, that's like my career on, like I can't
You'd be
work.
on hold, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be on hold, yeah.
But it's fun. It was fun. Yeah. What about you? How was your week?
Good. I mean, second week at my new job.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Love it.
Yeah, do you? Oh, that's good.
It's 10 hours a day, but it goes by so fast.
Oh.
Like either like I'm always on the computer or I have to talk to somebody. But it goes by so fast. I get there at 6:30 and then I'm like, oh shoot, it's already 9.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And then
yeah.
I'm like, oh shoot, it's already 12. It's so like it goes by so fast. And then I was thinking that because I get out at 5, that I'd be like stuck in a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
I think at 5, like when I leave at 5, it takes me like 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not
to get
too
home,
bad.
maybe 35.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. I thought it was gonna be worse than that.
Yeah, like at least an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I come from like Mira Mesa, like Sereno Valley area, and when I used to work up in Torrey Pines, and I was off at 3:30, I'd be in traffic for like an hour.
Yeah. Oh.
So I feel like leaving later, maybe there's less traffic.
Maybe it dies down.
Maybe,
yeah.
but I feel like everyone's off at 5.
Exactly. Usually that's
So I would be stuck in more traffic, but I'm not. I feel like I get home
faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know. I feel like the traffic does start earlier nowadays. Like it starts around like 2:33. That's when it starts picking up.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because when I used to leave at 3:30, I'd be like, I wouldn't get home till like 4:45. 4:30 maybe.
Yep, exactly.
On a good day, maybe like 4:10.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So like 40
Even
minutes,
if, yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like
I think it's all the
good.
students maybe getting out around that time.
Maybe.
But
so then I feel like when summer hits, there's probably less time too.
Hopefully,
because everyone's on summer break.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's fun.
And then another rave is that we had our auntie and our uncle here.
Yes.
From
visiting.
Sweden.
They're
from Sweden. My mom's family is there.
Yes.
But they went to Canada to visit my cousin, their son, and his family. And then they took like 10 days.
Week. Yeah, a little over a week.
Out of their month over there to come visit us.
Yeah.
So that was cool. We got some chocolate.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The best chocolate, I swear. So yeah, they came to visit us. And that was cool. I mean, it sucked because it rained.
Yeah, like
while they were here.
A good amount of time.
I feel like more than half of the time they were here, it rained. But overall, I feel like because they're older, I feel like they just wanted to spend time with us anyway.
Exactly.
And I know that Tito went fishing.
Yeah.
That's like his favorite thing to do.
His thing, yeah. He was kind of bummed out though because Neil took him out on the boat to like go deep sea. And Neil was already expecting like not a lot of catches because of the weather and all that. Yeah. So he like even before the trip he was like, I think your Tito is expecting a lot and like not a lot's gonna happen. And then when they came back, like that's all Tito was talking about. He was like, oh, I didn't catch anything, Yeah.
Maybe they should have just did like the pier or something.
I think they were planning on to, but it rained.
Oh yeah,
so,
that's true. Yeah, see, there was just a lot of like the rain sucked.
Yeah, got in the way.
Because I know we wanted to take them to like Coronado, and then the day that we wanted to, it rained.
Yeah.
And I don't like being in the rain.
And then they're older.
So I don't want to put them in the rain.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I know, and then Tita went
Bingo.
to casino with Mom, so I think that's what she likes.
Fun. Yeah.
So they had fun, I think, overall being here. And then we got to go out to dinner with them, celebrate their birthdays.
Yeah, they have day apart birthdays.
Like you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah. And then, so they told us next year is going to be their 50th
marriage anniversary.
Wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
So that's the golden anniversary.
Yes.
And they're going to celebrate it in Philippines.
Yeah, how cute. 50 years. My goodness. Yeah.
And then he's also going to be 75.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that because I want to go.
Yeah. No, yeah. Apparently it's going to be like a mini family reunion too.
I think so.
Yeah. Because some cousins will be out there and yeah. But yeah, we really want to go and we're trying to go there to spend the day with them or the celebration with them and then go fly out to like all the different islands over in the Philippines
and stay at like different resorts there and stuff.
Yeah, it's so nice,
so pretty from what we see on like pictures and stuff like that. From the last time we went, we didn't get to do that. We just stayed in the city.
And we were there for a good amount of time.
So now we're like, no, we're going to go around and actually tour and be out in like resorts and stuff and see the islands. And so I need to save up all my vacation time. That way I can take all the time to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
So Philippines.
It's going to happen.
2024.
Yes.
Here we come.
Here we come. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So I needed new... what is it called? Foundation, right? Because I've been using the same one for like a year.
Yeah.
And it's running out. So I was like, oh, I need new foundation. And I've been seeing this thing on my Instagram feed from Il Maquillage.
Il Maquillage.
And supposedly you take like this little quiz.
Okay.
And then they find like the right shade for you.
Ooh.
And supposedly it's like... every person that has like I've seen, it's like their perfect match.
Really?
And they just take a quiz.
What quiz?
About like your skin color, skin type, and supposedly the match is like
on point.
They get it on point on time.
Okay.
And I'm like,
we'll see about that. Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, and then they have like a free return if it doesn't match.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, what could it hurt?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah.
I was like, I could try it. If it's not a match, I'll just send it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got it. I got it in, I think, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And then that's like the packaging.
I love it. It's all black and sleek.
They sent it
nice.
in. Right? Okay.
Check out the video. On YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because this is just audio.
Yeah.
For some people.
Yeah.
Okay, but on YouTube, check us out and then you can see the package.
Yeah.
But when I signed up, or when I got a free brush. So yeah, so this is the brush. I got it. It came free.
Oh, cool. With the package.
Like a free gift, I guess, if you ordered it.
Cool.
And then I also got concealer.
Okay.
And supposedly this is supposed to match too as well.
Wait, so this brush, it's for like a foundation?
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's dense. Okay.
And then this is the concealer. And then this is, I got primer as well. And I also have like a skincare line.
It's called Fuck I'm Flawless. That's cute.
And then look at that. That's the primer.
Oh, look at that bottle.
Like their packaging is
really nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's the foundation. After Party.
That's what it's called.
Full coverage, yeah. And then I think I'm shade 100.
100.
Yeah. It's supposedly my shade. So we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
So maybe I'll put a little primer on.
It's called No Filter Primer.
Yeah.
I love the names.
I'm going to try it because I want to know. I'm going to need to send it back if it doesn't match me.
Is there like a day time frame?
I think they give you 14 days.
Oh, okay.
I just got it the other day.
Perfect.
So
Be descriptive of how it feels and stuff.
It's like the other primers that I have or I've tried. This doesn't feel as like
Tacky?
yeah, like
Like-
sticky, I guess.
Yeah, it looks more like gliding, if
Yeah.
anything.
So it doesn't feel like thick.
Okay. In a good way or in a bad way?
No, in a good way. Because
Okay.
I feel like there's a primer that I've been using, even though it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's so thick
Mm-hmm.
that I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
another whole layer.
Exactly.
I mean, in general, obviously it is, but another layer on
Don't
my
want to
face.
feel a whole
Yeah.
other layer. Yeah.
I'm always red, so.
Oh, and you put that on the test, right?
Yeah, because
Okay.
they say like what, and they even ask like when you look at your arm, what color is the veins?
Oh, what?
Yeah, because they were like, is it purple? Is it blue purple? Is it green blue?
Oh.
So they even asked that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm
What'd
like,
you put?
that I didn't know because some look like that one looks bluish purple, right?
Yeah.
But then over here it looks blue green.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like both. I don't know.
No. That's why I was like, how
But
do
they
you
go.
test?
They keep even going on to more questions.
Okay,
Too.
more detailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna try the foundation. You tell me, because I don't know.
Wait, keep doing it. I'm not a makeup esthetician, so
No, it looks too light.
really, because there are like so many lights on. Let me see.
Hold on. Oh, you put it on,
And then,
and then I'll look in the mirror.
yeah.
But actually, the more I put it on,
And then it also has to oxidize. No. Only do half your face.
yeah. I'm just gonna do.
How does it feel though? Does it feel cakey?
No, it feels light.
It feels, yeah. You only did what, 1.5, 2 pumps max?
Not even 2 pumps. I think it was like one.
One.
1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wait, I was looking at the light for too long. Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's canceling out the redness. Yeah,
Okay.
but it doesn't. Like, yeah, it like matches you, I think.
Okay.
But it could be because the light.
The
Like,
lighting?
I'm like half blind right
Let me
now.
look in the mirror. Okay, oh my gosh, so far. I'm stepping out.
Yeah, she's gonna go look.
Oh,
Yeah, you like it?
it is.
Like, if anything, to me, and I am kind of blind, so it could be because of that, but you look a little airbrushed.
No, that's supposed to be
What it's supposed to
like you see like an airbrush finish.
finish. Oh,
Yeah,
it looks nice.
but it is my shade.
No, look, you're so surprised.
Yeah, because I didn't. Come on.
Yeah, that's why I was skeptical too about just taking a test.
Like sometimes you can't even get the right shade when you're there in person. And
Exactly.
they actually like try to match you.
Yeah.
But this is.
How much did you pay for that?
I think at the end when everything all together, when I actually do have to pay, I only paid $5.95 for them to ship it.
Oh, you only paid for shipping to try it. Okay.
And then if I don't like it, and if I feel like it doesn't match me,
Yeah.
then I send it back and then I don't pay nothing.
Okay.
But I think after, if I like all the products,
And you want to keep it?
yeah, like $130.
Oh, okay.
Which is what I would pay if I went to like Ulta
And got
or
yeah.
Sephora
Yeah.
and got a primer, concealer,
And
and
brush
foundation and
or
brush.
yeah, that's
Right?
yeah, exactly.
So I feel like it's the same price as if you would go, but I didn't have to go.
Exactly.
I just took a quiz, and you guys.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I gotta save this for like special.
She
occasions.
is.
Like I can't be using this every day.
No, yeah.
Yeah, look, see this side is still a little red because I haven't done this side.
Yeah.
But this side is the one, and it does.
Yeah. And it doesn't even like look like, you know, like direct, different colors
Yeah.
centered down the middle. No, it just
looks
It
more like I have a
blends.
filter on the side.
Yeah.
And this side's not. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Good. Okay, real quick, we're going to stop the camera.
It's like a finish.
Finish and then we'll
And then-
turn it back on for the concealer
Yes,
part.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Cool.
Guys, doesn't feel heavy.
No, it doesn't feel like
No.
cakey.
Mm-mm.
That's good.
Okay,
yeah.
guys.
Okay, il maquillage.
Check them out. Take the quiz. Try it out. I mean, you could try it out for free. If it doesn't match you, you just send it back.
Yeah, and all you pay is shipping, right?
Shipping, yeah. It's a keeper for me. I'm
keeping you like it?
Yeah.
Good. I might buy one too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Okay, guys. That's Il Maquillage. Check them out.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored, but I feel like if you're looking for a new foundation, they just totally got me because I didn't think they could match me.
Yeah.
But they totally did.
That's really cool. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into the skincare too.
Yeah. And then you tell me if you read about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay.
If it's like something
good.
you think would be good.
Okay.
I guess we should have recorded that part, huh?
It's still there.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh. Yeah. So if you check out the skincare line, Barbie, if you do check it out, let me know if you think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I'll see.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll buy it and then we'll try it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Perfect.
Fun. Okay. Yeah, so what are we going to talk about today?
I think I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah? Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay, yeah.
We can dive into that.
No, yeah. It's a lot.
Personal thing.
Very heartfelt.
Yeah.
It's very personal. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready. I mean, I feel like if I start to cry, we'll just cut.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But I think, you know how I always said, like, I feel like a lot of people have been in my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time I was going through it, I feel like I didn't hear a lot about it.
Yeah.
You know? So, I feel like if I talk about it, then maybe if someone's feeling alone.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So this episode can just be a trigger warning for some. So anyone who's had issues with pregnancy, fertility, any miscarriage. So just putting it out there. If you don't want to move forward with listening, that's fine.
Yeah, we totally understand.
Yeah. If you don't want to move forward with watching either, that's fine as well. But just trying to share our story, my story.
Her story, yeah.
Okay, guys. So I think in our intro, we filmed our intro like 3 times.
Yeah.
So I don't think on our actual intro that we posted, I can't remember if when I introduced that I had a daughter, I think I may have only said Jordan.
I think so, but I don't remember what we posted. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I feel like one of my friends said, "Hey, you only said Jordan."
Oh, really?
And I'm like, shoot, did I? And I was like, because I know I've said it.
Yeah, yes, I remember.
So
hearing
I just
it.
don't know out of all the intros we recorded.
Yeah.
If on that one I left it out.
Yeah.
So anyways, you guys, so Jordan is not my only daughter. I have 2, just one's in heaven.
Yes.
They're identical twin girls.
Yes.
So Jaylin is the one who passed. She passed a few hours after birth. But my whole pregnancy was like difficult. It wasn't difficult like for me, but they were really sick. Like they weren't growing in my stomach.
Yeah, like it was to the point where you had to go to the doctors every week so that they made sure that they
multiple times a week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So 2018 I found out I was pregnant. She was with me.
Yes.
I think you guys were moving mom in.
Oh, that's right. Around that time. Okay.
So they were moving my mom in with you. And then I was like, oh, I'll stop by.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? And I was like, can you get me a pregnancy test?
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then I'll come over. And I was like, I'll help you guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then I'll take it there. She's like, okay. And the only reason I even said that, so you guys, like, history, I have PCOS. So it was hard for me to get pregnant anyway.
Yes.
It was to the point where I didn't even think I was going to have kids. Because I can't afford IVF.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, it's okay. Like, I got nieces and nephews.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I still have 2 sisters that are going to have kids, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's okay. I'll just be the auntie.
Yeah.
You know? And then I had just moved from one job to another. So my insurance hadn't kicked in yet.
That's right. Yes.
So then I was in that limbo.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like getting sick at work. Like, not sick, but I would be like where if I would like walk around, I'd get like dizzy.
Oh, okay.
Or like to where I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna pass out.
Oh.
You know? Never like any other sickness. It was just like
no morning
a lot
sickness?
of dizziness.
Oh, okay.
With that, I didn't think anything of it. And then I was always tired.
Okay.
And I was thinking like, oh, maybe because I have to get up earlier, my body's adjusting to the new job.
Yeah.
And my job before that was like 5 minutes away.
Okay.
You know? And this one, it was like a whole 30-minute commute.
Uh-huh.
And then I would have to leave early in the morning, wake up even earlier. So it was like, oh, and then traffic on the way home. So I was like, oh, maybe it's just my body trying to get used to everything, right? So I didn't think anything of it until it was like almost every day I would have an episode of where I was like dizzy and I like thought I would pass out or
oh my
whatever.
Gosh. Wow.
So then that's why I was like, let me try to rule everything out before I take my ass to like the emergency room and pay for that out of pocket.
I see.
You know?
Okay.
So I was like, let me see what I could rule out.
Yeah.
And I just said pregnancy test just because, so I could be for sure, be like, no, it's not that.
Yeah.
But never did I think that it was going to be yes.
Yeah.
You know? Because since I was 24, 25, like that's when they said like I wouldn't be able to conceive like naturally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that was going to be hard.
Yeah.
And also when I was, I don't even know how old I was, 24, 25, I had to take my right ovary out.
That's right. Yes.
Because of a cyst that was growing on it. So they couldn't salvage it. So that got taken out. So I only am working with my left.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that was another thing that was making it hard, you know?
Yeah. And for like people who don't really know the woman body, what do the ovaries do? Like, they're the ones that release the eggs?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they release the egg.
Okay.
And so if I'm only working with one, like women are born with a certain amount of eggs.
Really? Oh, we don't like make them?
No, it's not like the guys.
They
produce all the time. We don't.
Oh.
Whatever we have is what we're gonna have the rest of our lives. Whatever eggs we got. Yeah. So half of what I have is already gone. So and then plus like the PCOS and all that. And me and Brian had been together already at this point like 6 years.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting pregnant. So
exactly.
It's like, okay. So this was like the last thing in my head that was gonna be like, for me it was just gonna be like a check mark, like that ain't it.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I come over to her house after work, take the test, and she bought me a 3-pack.
Yeah, gotta make sure.
It was an instant one that you wait 5 minutes, and then a digital.
Yes. Yeah.
So I peed on all 3.
Yeah.
I got all 3 of them, peed on them. So we left it on the counter.
Yeah.
And then we were
walked
just hanging
away.
out. And so I checked on it, and it was like bright ass.
Yeah.
Remember the lines?
Yeah. Yes. Clear as day.
Clear, yeah. There's like no mistake.
Exactly.
Like, yes. And then the digital one was like pregnant.
Pregnant bitch.
And then I don't know how far I am at this point.
Yeah.
And then so I'm like, oh shoot, how do I find out? I don't have insurance yet.
Yeah.
The next day at work, I like call the OBGYN and I'm like, hey, like I don't know how far along I am. And I'm like, I'm irregular.
Exactly.
And I'm like, but this is the last time I had my period. And so she's like, oh my gosh. She was like, well, if you're really like, if this was really your last date, you're like 10 weeks.
Oh,
Basically, I'm already almost
into the second
done
trimester.
with my first trimester.
Yeah.
2 weeks and I'm in my second.
Yeah.
And so this whole time I didn't know. So I was like, well, what can we do, you know? And then she was like, well, okay. She was like, well, we really have to check you out because if you're really 10 weeks, you know. She was like, normally we would set you up with an appointment after 8.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
She was like, but you're going to be 10 and that's like 2 weeks to your
second trimester.
Going into your second trimester. And I'm like, okay. She sets me up with an appointment. But first she's like, oh, we'll get you set up for an ultrasound first.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. She was like, so your ultrasound will be at this time, and then you'll come in and see the doctor.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm like, okay. So I go for my ultrasound.
Yeah.
Okay. I go to my ultrasound, you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and she's like doing her thing, checking me out. And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, what is that? I was like, why does it look like that? Mind you, I've never, like, this is my first pregnancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it's supposed to look like on the screen.
Exactly.
So I'm like, ew. Why does it look like that? Like, what? And so I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, does my baby have 2 heads?
What?
Yeah. Or why does it look like that? Like, why is the shape like that? And then the tech is like, is this your first ultrasound? I'm like, yeah. And she was like, there's 2 babies in there.
Oh, she told you right away?
Yeah. I was like, what?
Dang.
She was like, yeah. She was like, there's 2. And then I was like, and I did not know what to say.
Yeah.
So I'm shocked. And then, so after that, I go to see the doctor too. And so, they run their tests, whatever. And then the doctor confirms it.
Yeah.
That there's 2. And I was like,
my
what?
gosh.
And then, I mean, twins do run on my mom and my dad's side.
Yeah.
So,
it
but
is
I was like,
possible.
whoa.
Yeah, you were not expecting it.
Not at all. So at this point, she's the only one that knew I was pregnant.
Pregnant in general.
In general.
Yes.
You were the only one that knew. Because I took the test here with her. So she was the only one that knew. And so I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and not tell anybody that it's twins. And I'm just going to have like a surprise.
Like a reveal.
Yeah. And so like I was telling her like, oh, we should do like a pregnancy reveal.
Like the plan was to do a gender reveal, but make it so that, oh, here's, gender, and then, oh, surprise, there's another one.
No, but you didn't know yet at this time.
Oh, no? Okay.
No, you didn't know it was twins yet. So I was like trying to keep it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like waiting. Because I think the plan was we were going to go all out to lunch or something. And that I was going to tell the other 2.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen because my ass couldn't wait.
Of course.
So I called Jen. And I don't know if she came over or what. But I showed her the pregnancy stick. Or I sent her a picture. And then that's how she knew. I couldn't hold it anymore. And then our older sister, I think it was... I don't remember if Junior was getting an award or Serena was getting... I think Junior might have been getting an award. So I was going over there to go with them to see him get his reward.
Yeah.
At school. So then I get there and Ata's still sleeping. So then I'm like, hey, are we going? And she's like, yeah. And so she gets up and goes to the bathroom. She has her phone and I send her the picture of the pregnancy test.
When she's in the bathroom.
And so she comes down. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, girl. She's like, ah. So that's how they found out. And then at this point, no one knows yet. And mom doesn't know because she's not even here.
Yeah.
And then, so anyways, I think you come with me to my first appointment. Or like my follow-up ultrasound, which is like a couple weeks later. So by here, I'm already into my 2nd trimester.
Okay.
And I think I was supposed to be like 16 weeks or something like that. So anyways, we go. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, why are they measuring a little smaller in my head? But then like the tech's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Which they're not, I don't think they're supposed to anyway.
Yeah. That's why I was like, oh, they told you right away about the twins?
Yeah. So at my first ultrasound, they didn't see anything wrong.
Yeah.
So then the second ultrasound, tech didn't tell me anything, which I didn't find weird because they shouldn't be telling you if there's anything wrong anyway.
Exactly.
But the doctor calls me in and then she's like, oh, they're like growing really small. I think I was supposed to be like 16 weeks and they were still measuring at like 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like weeks behind.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, could it be that we got the timing wrong? Because I'm irregular.
Exactly.
That was like one of the things that I was asking. She was like, even if we were like 4 weeks, they're still small.
I see.
So I was like, okay. And then at that point, they said the best thing to do was to terminate.
Yeah, they put that out on the table. They were like, yeah,
Like,
in
basically kind of
opinion,
making it seem like it was like my only choice.
exactly, yeah.
Because they were like, oh, we don't think.
Yeah, they're very like adamant about like them not making it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no.
Yeah, like
And I was like, no. And then I was like, I don't, like, that's not for me. Like, to abort.
yeah.
I like more
each
power
their
to
own.
to each
Yeah.
their own. I just don't for myself.
Yes.
For myself, I didn't believe in that. And if it was gonna happen, if they were gonna pass away in my stomach, then it could just happen naturally.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's fine. So I was like, no.
Yeah, because if there's a way to like fight for it, you're gonna fight for it.
Of course, it's
yeah.
like my first pregnant. How do I know if I'm gonna get pregnant again? Like, no, I was gonna fight for this. So,
exactly.
The doctor was like, well, that's what like my recommendation, and I was just like, yeah, no, it's
No,
not good for me. And I basically was like, if they're gonna pass, then they're gonna pass, and then from there I'll deal with it.
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna be the one
to decide
to do it.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm bawling.
Of course. How
She's
could
bawling.
you not? Yeah.
So then it was kind of like, how could I be so happy and then at the same time I'm like so devastated?
Yes. Exactly.
And so from that point on, I was just like scared. I don't think I told people until later.
Yeah.
I think I was like so scared because I was like,
because the whole like what if was still there.
Yeah.
It was never a time in your whole pregnancy where they're like, okay, it's fine now.
Yeah. I never was like, oh, I could sit back and just chill, relax. So then, I ended up seeing like a specialist, a perinatologist, which they have you set up anyway if you're a little older. And I was like 33
when you got pregnant.
When I was pregnant. So that's considered geriatric pregnancy, whatever. But anyways, so I was seeing a perinatologist, and then I think that next week they brought me back just to see.
Okay, how
they went through the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't even a whole week then. So just like the weekend.
I think it was like on a Thursday or Friday we went. And then I think that Monday or Tuesday I was back.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Like they wanted to bring me back just to make sure. They did another ultrasound. I saw the head of perinatology at Scripps. Shout out to Dr. Donishman.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I love him, you guys. So he kind of was like, I'm here for you.
Very, yes, right? Very different.
Whatever you want to do, I'm going to ride with you, basically, to the end of whatever you decide.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was kind of like, he kind of was like, if you have faith and whatever. And he was just telling me about how he's seen women with the same thing I was going through, and they have perfectly healthy babies,
Yeah.
And then he's told me about how like some have like, one passes away, but they have the other one, so it's kind of like, okay, there are people out there
in the same boat,
in the same position, or we're in the same position as me.
Exactly.
And he was like, so whatever you want to do is what I want to do, And so I felt more at ease with that. I was like, okay. But at the same time, I'm still, you very scared.
Exactly.
And so had so many tests done. I already don't have good veins, but I was getting my blood drawn all the time. We did so many tests to see if there was like something wrong with the babies. So like genetic testing.
Yeah.
Checking if like for Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Checking their hearts, all that. So I was going to specialists everywhere. UCSD, Scripps. We even went up to LA.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
With a specialist up there. So my whole pregnancy I was at the doctor's, like, if not every day, almost like every other day.
That's crazy.
Getting poked and prodded, but everything was coming back. Like, obviously she doesn't have they didn't have Down syndrome. That was negative. No genetic, nothing genetic. And so they were like trying to figure out too, like, what
Why?
What is it?
Yeah.
At the end of it, when we finally saw the specialist in LA, it was, I think I was already 6 months.
Damn.
7 months.
Uh-huh.
When they gave me an actual diagnosis.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Which was the IUGR, so intrauterine growth restriction.
Okay.
So they just weren't getting enough from
the placenta, right?
So the girls shared the placenta. They each had their own umbilical cord. Mm-hmm. So they shared one placenta instead of each of them having their own placenta.
Yeah. So that makes them identical. The fact that they share.
No, they can have their own placenta
and still be identical. Oh, okay. So the placenta is basically from the egg.
No, I don't. The placenta is
where does
just
it come from?
Where they get their nutrients from me.
Yeah, but where does it come from? Do you just grow it?
I don't know that part. I don't know, girl. Don't get in depth because I don't know. But
okay.
So there's twins that have one umbilical cord and one placenta, which is really bad.
Oh,
and then
okay.
There's the twins that each have their own umbilical cord but share a placenta.
Okay.
And then there's twins that have
their own.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Their own placenta, own umbilical cord. So Jordan and Jalen, they shared placenta.
Mm-hmm. But individual cords.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just weren't getting enough. Like the flow, I guess, wasn't just growth restricted.
Yeah,
for both of them.
Yeah.
So essentially, they were like 3 weeks behind.
Okay.
Than what they should be.
Yes.
Because they were growing so small.
Yeah. But the whole time, Jordan was always bigger. She was always the bigger one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so I think, and then they would do ultrasounds and check the hearts of the babies. Mm-hmm. And then from there, they could see that Jalen's heart wasn't as strong. There was, I think, something wrong with, like, the flow.
Okay.
There was, like, backflow in her heart.
Okay.
But then Jordan was always fine. But it was just so many appointments. And then I even met up with the doctor in the NICU. And then she was telling me, like, kind of like the birth plan. Mm-hmm. First, they were trying to get me to at least 20 weeks.
Yeah. If
at 20 weeks I supposedly went into labor, that for sure they would only be able to save one.
Okay.
Because they were so small that they couldn't at that time give me steroids to mature their lungs.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Or anything like that.
Yeah.
But then week after week, they were like, okay, our next goal is like 22
next week. Yeah.
And then our next goal is 24 weeks.
Exactly.
Our next goal is 26 weeks, Mm-hmm. So then I was like, okay. And then I got to like 28 weeks. Mm-hmm. They were able to give me a steroid shot.
Okay.
So they gave me a steroid shot just to help the babies like mature their lungs.
Yeah, faster. So
in case, if anything, that they could at least try.
Yes.
To save one or both.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going to the perinatologist 3 times a week, every other day, for ultrasound.
Yeah.
This is where they're checking like the blood flow of the babies, their heartbeat.
Okay.
Checking if if it's I would say like backflow.
Okay.
Because the nutrients are supposed to be going like in and then out. Yeah. And not just like constantly out.
Yeah.
Because then they get like the fluid overload and all that stuff. So at this point, that's what they're checking every other day, is to make sure that the flow is still good, their heart is still strong.
Yeah.
So that was going on 3 times a week. All this was going on. And then at the same time, it's like stuff that I feel like on some stuff I kind of missed out on.
Like the baby shower.
Like doing the gender reveal or like announcing it to everybody. One reason I like didn't want, I told other than family, I told maybe like a handful of friends. So not a lot of people knew.
Yeah.
And that was because I think for me, I didn't want it to be where it was like, I didn't want people to, I guess, to feel like sorry for me.
I get that.
Yeah. Like,
exactly. Because that triggers things. Yeah.
Or I didn't want a lot of people to know as well, because I didn't want them constantly checking up on me.
Asking. Yeah.
Like, oh, how is it? And at that time I was already like fragile. I was like crying every day. At one point I didn't literally slap myself, but I literally like like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
This is like a blessing.
Yeah.
You're pregnant, you know?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I need to stop crying because they could feel that.
I see. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they could hear me crying. They could hear me, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So one day I was just like, you need to stop crying because as much as this is like hurting you, like they're here. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
They're fighting to be here.
Exactly.
So it was like, if they're fighting, like you should be fighting too.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, think positive.
Yeah. So I was like,
yeah.
okay. Like from that day, I like held myself back from crying.
Okay.
So I was like, really? Like, why should I be sad when they're here fighting to be
Yeah.
here? You know what I mean? They're fighting every day. And I'm over here like crying. So like I changed my mindset and I was just like, okay, I'm going to be like happy.
We're going to do it.
For as long as they're choosing me to be their mom and as long as they want to be here, then I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
I still didn't like let everybody know.
Exactly.
I think there was just a handful of people that knew. And it was kind of like we couldn't even plan a baby shower, you know, because who knew when I was going to give birth? Who knew, you know? And then like I didn't want to add stress to my body. I was trying to be as comfortable and relaxed as possible.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's all new to me. Everything that's all the information coming to me, I never knew anyone that went through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, how much activity could I, how much, you know, like how much could I really do? How much, all that, all new to me. So I'm still kind of like iffy about a lot of stuff.
Very cautious.
Even like pictures. I didn't have a lot of pictures.
Not a lot of
pregnant,
like maternity
which
photos.
I feel like I don't regret not having like a gender reveal and all that and not having baby shower. I really don't regret that. I do regret not taking more pictures because I do have some and I think we had planned to do some.
Yeah, but
then they came early. So so I think that's my one regret is not taking more pictures of like my bump.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So it was at one of my ultrasounds. I think it was on a Friday, either a Thursday or Friday. It was one of those days. And then they said, had my ultrasound and then the Dr. D, and I trusted him with every, you know, because he was really like for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very advocating.
And luckily it was him that was at my appointment that day.
Yeah.
And so he was like, baby A, which was Jalen, her flow is not good. It's more back
and forth.
Yeah. And he was like, so I don't know. He was like, I don't know if we should wait through the weekend and when I see you on Monday, or if I should just admit you
right now
and monitor you. So initially the plan was I was going to get admitted for observation.
Yeah.
They were going to just monitor the whole thing. And then, so their plan was they were going to monitor me that day. It was a Friday. They're going to monitor me Friday all night. And then they had scheduled a C-section for Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that was the initial plan. And I was like, okay. And I was like, you don't think I should wait till Monday? And then he was like, I would advise no. That way, at least we could monitor you.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
And how far out are you
at this point? I think I had just hit 31 weeks.
Okay.
But they were still measuring at like 28.
Got it. Okay.
28, 27. But I was 31.
Yeah.
And with twins, I think they want you to at least to get to 34 or 36. Okay. So almost, but they were measuring behind anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll get admitted, whatever. So at this point, I didn't even like call anybody yet because it was just like observation. So I was just going to like get admitted, wait till I was all settled, and then like call everyone and be like, hey, I'm here, just being observed.
Exactly.
Like that. And so then they bring me up and I get into the into the ward, and then I'm like there and they're like doing my IV, whatever. And then they took labs, I think. I'm not sure if they took labs or they were just monitoring like everything, my blood pressure and the baby's. And my blood pressure was like spiking up.
Oh.
And so then they were like, change of plans. We're going to do your C-section in like an hour.
Oh, damn. Okay.
They were like, we got to get you in there. And they're like, yeah, your blood pressure. So it's called like preeclampsia.
Okay. Which
is where your blood pressure spikes. And then you have like magnesium in something. I don't know. But they're basically like, it's critical for you and the babies.
Okay. So emergency C-section
yeah, they
at
were
this
like,
point.
so we are just gonna get some IVs started and then get you in.
Oh,
We gotta get you
wow.
like going. And I was like, right now?
Yeah.
And they were like, probably within the hour. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh shit. I was like, nobody's here.
Yeah, no one knows. Yeah.
I was like, no one's even gonna look for me. No one knows
Yeah.
nothing. They're trying to do stuff to me. So I'm like, can you guys call like
Uh-huh.
my family?
Yeah.
So like they looked through my phone, like they had my phone and they were like, they called Ryan. And I was like, and this is what I told everybody. You guys, I told everyone, every appointment I had, I said, hey guys, if an 858 number calls you, answer the freaking phone. Because that means it's the hospital. These people don't answer any phones, okay?
Yeah.
And I said, if it's an 858 number, answer it. Because that means I'm in the hospital and I can't call you.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they have my phone. And I have everyone listed in like an emergency thing. So then I was like, just go down the line.
Yeah.
So then they called Ryan, they called Jen, they called you, they called Mom, they called Ate, which is our older sister, and they called my dad. No one. None of these effers answer their phone except my dad.
The one that lives out of
And
San
he
Diego.
lives in Menifee so it's like an hour and like 20 minutes from San Diego. And he's the only one that answered. You guys. So then they asked him if he could call everybody.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh my God. And so then they came and told me that. And I'm like, these people. I already told them if it's an 858 number, please
In my
answer the
defense,
phone.
I was sleeping.
She was sleeping.
Because I work graveyard.
So yeah,
was
so
knocked
she
out.
was knocked out. But they came and told me and I was like, of course. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, they were able to get like my IVs on me. And they like are prepping me, whatever. And I was like, can I get my phone? I was like, I'll try. And then I call Ryan first, for obviously. And I'm like, why are you not answering your phone?
Yeah.
And then he was like, why? What's going on? And I was like, you need to come now. Like, they're about to cut me open.
Yeah.
And he was like, right now? I was like, yes. So he's like, okay, I think he just woke up from a nap.
Okay.
And I'm like, why everybody sleep?
Yeah. At like 2 p.m. or something.
And then I called our older sister. This is me. It wasn't even like, come now. Every person that answered, I was like, why are you not answering your phone? So, anyways, I get to her, and then she ends up picking up Mom, and then Jen comes too. But why? Why does everyone show up the same time as my dad?
Why did it take them that long?
Yeah. So my dad drives from Menifee.
Yeah.
With my stepmom, my brother.
They had to
get
shower, get ready.
They get there. They're all literally within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
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 Literally within 5 minutes of each other, they all show up. And I'm like, what?
Where were you?
How does this happen? You guys live 20 minutes away.
Exactly.
So it was literally like 5 minutes within each other. I was like, how is Dad here?
As well,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, psh, I don't even know. And this was nowhere to be found.
Yeah. I was still sleeping.
So anyways, I get taken in. Mom ends up coming with me. Because Ryan's like, he probably would have passed out.
Oh,
and that wouldn't have helped me.
Yeah.
So we go into a C-section. And first of all, they do my epidural. That hurt for like a quick second.
Okay.
And then I didn't know that it was working. So I never had any I didn't feel.
Oh.
I never went into labor.
Oh, that's right.
So I didn't have like the contraction feeling. I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So at first I don't even know if the epidural's working. So I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta pee, And I'm like, and at this point my legs don't work.
Yeah.
It's like numb. I can't even lift them up.
Damn.
So I'm like, I was like, what if I have to pee? And the nurse was like, go ahead, you have a catheter on.
Oh.
And I was like, when did you guys put a catheter on? I was like, what? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So I didn't even feel them like open my legs.
Yeah.
I didn't feel them put the catheter in, nothing. Because I'm like, I think I have
Wait,
to.
so you were already blocked?
Yeah,
your
they
vision?
already had put because they're decrepping me now.
Okay.
Because it's to be sterile.
Yes.
Right? So anyways, I'm like monitoring my vitals on the screen, and I'm like, okay, like my heart rate's going up, and I was like, okay, I need to relax.
Yeah.
And then I got nervous. I got super anxious because I was like, I don't think I could breathe. I think the epidural is like
Coming up.
And so I'm like, oh my God, if I'm like numb in my legs and then I become numb up here, then my heart's not going to work.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was like freaking out.
Yeah.
And so then I was looking at my blood pressure, my heart. I was like, okay, I need to calm. I need to calm down. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So then I was like calming down, whatever. And then the doctor was like, can you feel this? And I was like, no. And then he was like, let me know if you feel like anything at all.
Okay.
Because then they would have to put more.
Yeah.
Because they're cutting me open.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't feel anything, you know? And then, so they're like, so then at one point I felt, but it wasn't pain. And they're like, okay, what do you feel? And I was like, oh, just like pressure.
Okay.
And so basically all I felt was like them tugging.
But no pain.
No pain.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden I hear a cry. And then from there I like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't see them. They took them right away.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So Jalen they took to, I think it's on the same floor, but in like their emergency for that. And then Jordan they took down to the NICU. So I didn't see them right away.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So
did you know that was going to happen?
No,
were you expecting to see
I think
that?
they told me, but everything was happening
So fast. Okay.
And so much information was getting thrown at me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they told me like, this is the plan. We're going to take them out and get them
as soon as possible.
stable.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that I wouldn't be able to see.
At least
them,
see.
You know?
Yeah.
So I didn't even see them. I didn't know what they look like. Nothing.
You could have got a whole different set of babies.
All I heard was just their cries.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
So then they stitched me back up, got me stable. I went back to the room, and then I was there. And then I think it was like 2 hours later, they like were like, oh, we need you in the room. And I was like, okay. And then they're wheeling me there, and I'm already crying.
Yeah.
Because I already knew what they were going to tell me. So then we get into, so I was like, I was like, you need to go. Like,
with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So then we went, like, all that too is a blur.
Oh, the conversation with the doctor, or
that whole like them wheeling me in the bed. They didn't. I couldn't even get into the wheelchair because I'm still numb.
Yeah.
So them like wheeling me to the room, and then like everything that was coming at me, like anybody that was talking to me at that point was just all like a blur.
Yeah.
Like I remember and then don't remember. You know. And it was, like, the doctor was basically like, we've been trying to, like, get Jalen stabilized.
Yeah.
But she just keeps, like, she's not taking in the oxygen.
Nothing
like that.
Yeah.
And at this point, they're like, do you want us to keep going?
To keep trying.
Yeah. And I think they even already had, like, maybe intubated her already or whatever they do for like little newborns. Not sure, but they had been trying for like the 2 hours already. And so she was like, do you want us to keep going? And at this point I'm like crying and I'm getting like all this information and I'm just like, she's suffering.
Yeah.
So at this point I'm like, I'm not even hearing anymore what the doctor's saying.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking is, oh, my baby is suffering. And this is what I didn't want from the beginning.
Yeah.
Was if they're going to suffer, then no. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So then I was like, no, she's suffering. She's already fought
so
hard, you know, to be here.
The whole
She's
pregnancy.
already fought for her sister to be here. So I was like, no, like, it's okay. So then they like stopped and then they let me hold her and she was like on me. And then I think she was still with us for like another hour.
Oh, wow. Since they stopped
or
trying.
maybe it was either 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Because we don't know exactly like when she took her last breath.
Oh, okay.
Because she was on me. She's still like breathing, but it was like she was struggling.
Yeah.
Which is what they were saying, was that she was struggling still. No matter what they did, she wasn't like taking any like oxygen in.
I see.
From what I can remember with it's all a big blur to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she was on me, and then I want to say maybe 30 minutes, even up to an hour. Like she was just with me, and I was just holding her, and it was like skin to skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like I felt her take her last breath. It was like a big, like, you know, and then, I fucking lost it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she's okay. Like, she's comfortable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, she's not suffering anymore. And then I think that's when they called, like, Ryan called you guys.
Oh,
or
okay.
called the people that were there.
Yeah.
And so I think he called, like, mom, everybody in there. So they were able to see her. And they let me have her for as long as I wanted.
Yeah.
So, which I love that they weren't, like, rushing
exactly
to take her away, you know?
As they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
So I had her. They brought us back to my room, and I think slowly everybody went home, and then you came.
Yeah, because
I think you finally like called me back.
Yeah, because I woke up to get ready for work, and then I saw all the missed calls. So I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I missed it. So that's when I called you, and I was like, you know, like what's going on? Can I still come?
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Yeah, you know, filled me in real quick," and then you're like, "Yeah, you can come if you want to." And I was like, "Hell yeah!" You know, I called out of work, and then I came.
Yeah.
And then
so it ended up being like you and mom.
At the end, staying the night, yeah.
And then, and at this point, I still hadn't seen Jordan.
Oh, she's still in the NICU?
NICU, yeah.
Okay.
So they ended up transferring me to another room. They transferred me to the floor because they needed my other room for somebody that was coming in to give birth. So then they moved me up to the floor. And then still had Jalen. And then the next day, Dr. D came to visit.
Okay.
And then also on the second day, basically they were just telling me like whenever I was ready, then they would take Jalen.
Okay.
So then that second day is when they were like, which I absolutely love them for.
They got like, you what?
They got me her footprints.
Oh, okay.
And then I think her handprints. Yeah, her handprints. So all the stuff for like newborns they were able to give me from Jalen. And then we even did like pictures with her.
Yeah, they had a photographer come in. Yeah.
And do pictures, and then we were able to get like a priest in to pray for her. But I didn't let her go until I think that third day. And I didn't get to see Jordan until I think the second day.
Oh.
I think they were like, okay, if you want to like get ready, then we can take you down.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I remember like you guys had brought me clothes.
Yeah.
So then I showered and all that, and then but mom and my dad had went down already to see Jordan.
Oh, before you?
Yeah.
Oh.
They saw her like before I did.
Interesting.
And they were like, "Oh, they look exactly alike."
Oh.
Just
she was
size.
just bigger. Yeah.
So Jalen was 1.5 pounds, 1.5 pounds. And Jordan was exactly double. So she was 3 pounds.
Wow.
So they're literally identical, just half size.
Yeah.
So then finally, I think that night I was able to go down and see her. And she just had all the tubes connected and everything. But she was so cute.
Yeah, she was tiny, but she was like, you can tell she was going to be a long girl. Like tall. Yeah.
She was long.
She was long.
Just
tiny.
Yeah. Like weight wise, tiny, but long. Like basically as tall as probably almost a newborn.
Yeah.
But she was like tiny. That was that. And then stayed again another night. And then the third night, I think, as much as I didn't want to let her go, I was like, okay, if I don't let her go now, I'm not going to let her go. Yeah. So then they took Jalen. And then I think I got discharged on the 4th day.
Okay.
They were born on November 9th. And then I think she came home a little before my birthday.
So she was in there.
So she was there like
a little over
a month, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did so great in the NICU. There wasn't ever any like incidences.
Like complications.
Or anything. But yeah, she just didn't latch onto my So she was on formula as well as I like pumped.
Okay.
So she still had breast milk.
Yeah.
She just didn't
latch on.
Yeah, latch on.
Breastfeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's always going to be petite weight-wise, but her height
She's
tall.
She's tall.
And that's what her doctor always said, is that that's just going to be her normal. Is that she's always going to be underweight.
Exactly.
But as long as she's eating and, and she's healthy, then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which for the most part she is. She's only gone sick so much lately because she started preschool.
Oh, yeah, that too. Oh, yeah, and then the weather, because she's outside. Yeah.
So the weather changes recently. She's been having like a cold off and on, but also just starting preschool, being around other kids, and then they're all germy. Kids. So this is the only time she's really been sick, because as a baby, she wasn't sick.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and for the most part, she was easy. She's always slept through the night. I never had a problem with that, which I think I owe a lot to the NICU. Because all the babies are on a schedule.
Yeah, true.
So
okay.
I feel like her being there a little over a month,
like put in a routine.
She got put in a routine. So when she came home with us, it was already like she slept through the night.
Yeah.
And some nights I had to wake her up to feed. I had to be the one to be like, "Girl, you gotta eat."
Yeah. How long did it take for you to physically recover?
So this is what sucks about like our healthcare system. We just don't get enough like maternity leave or paternity leave. You know what I mean? But for C-section, they give you 8 weeks
instead of 6.
6, I think, is for
normal.
like regular. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they only add like 2 more weeks.
Wow. If you get cut open. Yeah. Yeah.
They're cutting through you, and you only get 8 weeks.
Thanks.
But I guess you get. At the time, for me, it was like 12 weeks altogether, so 3 months.
Okay. But still, that should... What? Really?
Yeah. But then I like got in, like I had postpartum, which is, I mean, my doctor said everything that I went through, that she would be surprised if I didn't.
Yeah.
So I did get extra time because of that. So I was able to be at home with Jordan until she was like 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Almost 5.
Nice.
I think. Yeah. But then, went back to work. And then dads only get 6 weeks paid and then 6 weeks unpaid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Because in like Europe, where our cousins are,
they get 18 months. 18 months.
I think
both.
Year, though. It's a year for both paid.
Each. Yeah.
For the mom and dad.
Yeah. And then I could be wrong, but I hear, let's say the dad doesn't want to take the whole year. He can give the rest to the mom and she can add it on. See? Yeah. I don't know.
But it's paid.
But it's paid a whole year.
Like ours is only 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
And then 6 weeks. I think they just changed it recently to where you get 6 months instead of 3.
If you... Or because just everybody?
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, like the moms.
No, I know, but like, you
everyone,
don't have to go through C-section. You don't have to, like,
I think it's 6 months now because, I was 3. Now it's like 6. I think I want to say that passed, but I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Paid.
But
still, because that's like the most critical time to be with your child.
I feel like their first year.
Yes.
So it sucks that at 3 months,
you have to be at work. And then leave them.
You need to work because babies are expensive.
Exactly.
Diapers and all that, wipes, like, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So it's like just a flaw in our system. So just going through all that, I guess, my only regret would be not to have more pictures of the bump. Just to look back on, like, what we went through.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, we have pictures of Jalen up. We have her ashes with us. We have her in the hallway. We have pictures of her in the hallway. Jordan knows about her. We tell her it's her Ate Jalen.
Yeah.
We tell her that that's her angel. She's watching over her. She knows that it's her sister, but she's still kind of young, so she doesn't grasp that it's her twin sister.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But
it won't be like a surprise to her when she's like, exactly.
She's like, look, Mom, it's Ate Jalen. She'll like play, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, she's my angel, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Which is true because like the whole time during her funeral, that's when it like really hit me, to where I was like, dang, like Jalen really held on for Jordan,
Yeah.
because if Jalen never made it through birth,
Yeah.
they both wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. So that's another
Exactly.
thing that they were like saying to me, that which is why they kept such a close eye,
Mm-hmm.
was because if Jalen's nutrients or whatever it was kept backflowing, and since they shared the same placenta, it would backflow on Jordan.
On Jordan,
which is
yeah.
why they watched me so close, because they didn't want that to happen. Because if Jalen happened to pass inside of me, it wouldn't take long for
Jordan
to
to
pass
exactly
too.
because the placenta was connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, she truly is like a fighter.
Yeah.
Like,
and
she literally fought
for
to
her
make
sister.
sure her sister made it. Like, she was like, to me, I feel like she was like, if mom can't have both of us, at least she can have one.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
At least she'll have one of us here with her.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, that's what I truly believe.
No, yeah.
And Jalen, they actually both. They were both so strong. Held on for as long as they could.
Yeah.
They held on so long up until the point they couldn't anymore.
Exactly.
And it was like perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because for me even at that time, I was like, oh, what made me say okay? Because every time they were like, should we admit you? And I'd be like, no, let me get through the weekend. But for some reason, just that day, I was like, okay, let me not be so
pushy, or
prideful,
let me not
and be like, okay. Well, and then at that too, it was just like observing me. So I was like, okay, they're just gonna observe me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
good thing.
So even at that point too, it was not even them sick. It was me. Like, the preeclampsia, it could be, if it got severe, it could have been fatal.
Oh, to all three of us. Yeah.
So I was like, oh shoot. And I didn't even know I was pre-eclamptic until after the fact. Because even like, I didn't have any issues with blood pressure until then. And so even now, I'm like watching my blood pressure. Because it never really, they say it should go away, but like for me, it never really like went away. So, I mean, it's just like timing. It's
crazy, yeah.
Like everything happening, for a reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, not everyone knows my whole story. So, I mean, if it could help anybody, I know that for me, I was like, who else is going through this?
Yeah, no, we don't hear about it.
So I'm
exactly.
Like, am I the only one? And, like, how do people get through this kind of thing? Like, knowing, So, the one thing that I, like, not get mad about or, like, get kind of, like, annoyed about is when, like, I hear people, like, oh, imagine if... You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, imagine if both of them...
I see.
Or imagine if Jalen would have made it.
No, yeah, exactly.
Like, imagine if Jalen would have made it. They'd both be running around. I would love that.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. Like, I imagine it all the time. Like, I don't care as much as Jordan is so wild and crazy.
Yeah.
I would love to have two of them running around wild and crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't you think? Like, I know that.
Like a no shit moment. Like, I see.
Duh. I would love it though.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not like I would not that I'm like, oh, I'm thankful.
No, right? Exactly.
No, I would love if I had Jalen here.
Exactly.
And I had someone with Jordan. Because right now she's basically like the only child. Yeah. Her brother and sister. She has an older brother and an older sister, but they're not here with us. They live out of state.
Exactly.
So it's like essentially she is the only child.
Exactly. So
I'm like, I imagine it, and I wish it was for real.
Yeah.
So like that kind of annoys me sometimes.
No.
So I'm like,
understandable.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a burden to me.
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay. So yeah, I mean. But I feel like they don't.
Yeah, know. No one will understand.
And they don't. I feel like they always don't. Like, no one really knows what to say to me.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like no one really knows what to say.
Yeah. So that's what they resort to. Oh my gosh.
But it happens, I guess. to everybody.
Yeah, but you're so strong for going through all of that, honestly. I can't even imagine, like you, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I was crying every day.
Oh, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Every day. And I think, for a long time, I was crying every day. Maybe, like, not in front of people. Because also I didn't want Jordan to feel that. Because she was a baby, too.
I see.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So I didn't want her to
feel the energy. Uh-huh.
So it would be like if I'm taking in the shower.
Okay.
I would cry there.
Yeah.
Or if she's taking a nap and I'm in the living room, I'd cry.
Yeah.
Or when I started going back to work, I'd cry like on my way home. So by the time I'm home, it's out. So I cried like every day for a long time.
No, that's...
Even now, I feel like anything can trigger me to cry. Like on TV, if I'm seeing like on those medical shows, like those TV shows, and it's like someone has like a miscarriage or someone is having a baby and then the baby's sick, anything.
It's
like
very triggering.
And then I start bawling.
Yeah.
And then I can't stop crying. So even now, like, I would probably say not every day now, but maybe a good 4 or 5 days out of the week. I still have that moment where I'm crying.
Of course. Yeah.
So grief is not like there's no time. You there's moments when you're like so happy and then all of a sudden you're just like bawling, because anything can trigger.
Exactly.
Depending, but there's no time limit on grief, you guys. So don't be like, you shouldn't be like, oh, I should be over it already.
Yeah. No.
There's no time limit on grief. Like, you can grieve however long you want.
Exactly.
Which brings me to recently. No one knew, right? So again, first person I told was you. So
yeah.
I think it was the end of January or beginning of, I don't know, mid-January.
After the new year, right?
Yeah. It was
because you left your job already.
Yeah. So it was mid-January. Kind of had like the symptoms I had before.
The dizziness.
Yeah.
And
And I was like, what's going on? So took a pregnancy test and I was pregnant. So it was positive. So that was like mid-January, I want to say. And so I'm at this point, I'm like, okay, well, how many weeks am I?
Yeah.
And again, you guys, I don't have insurance.
Of course, the timing.
I just left my job. I had just quit. And so I'm like in limbo of, should I go find another job now? Or like, what do I do? So I'm looking up, because then at this point, I don't know how many weeks I am.
Yeah.
I could either be, at this point, I could have been either 10 weeks or 6.
Okay.
It was one of those where I couldn't exactly pinpoint. So then I found a free clinic that would do an ultrasound.
Oh, good.
And then that would help determine like how far along I was.
Okay.
So then when I did go, when my last so-called cycle was, which I didn't really count as a cycle, so I should have never even put that date.
Okay.
Because then that made me 6 weeks.
Okay.
And they said they don't do an ultrasound until 8.
Got it.
So if I would have just put November, then I would have been 10.
Okay.
And they would have done an ultrasound.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they were like, oh, just wait 2 weeks and then we'd be able to. So in 2 weeks is when I would have found out if I was 8 or 12.
Or 12.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And then for some reason, Jordan knew. Because Jordan, even before I took the test, like the week before, Jordan was like, Mom, you have a baby in your belly.
Really?
And I was like, I'm not fat, girl. Like, thanks. And I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And then took the test and I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. Damn.
So told her dad. I didn't plan on telling anybody until I got the ultrasound.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, 2 weeks. Because then I had planned on telling everybody when we went to the snow.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
We were going to go to Big Bear and do some...
like family thing.
Right? And so I was like, okay, that'll be perfect because then everybody's there.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, great. And then I would have been getting my ultrasound that Thursday and we were going Saturday.
Oh, perfect.
So I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I'd be able to tell everybody. Right?
Yeah.
But in that meantime, Jordan was telling everybody.
Big mouth over here.
Like, she told, I think, like, Jen, she was like, Auntie Jen, mama's a baby in her belly. And then she was like, what? And then she was like, Ate. And I was like, what? And she was like, did you hear what Jordan said? I said, okay, and she was like, what? And then I was like, yeah, girl. And then same thing with Ate Din. She was like, Auntie, my mommy has a baby in her belly. And then, so then sisters knew.
Yeah.
And then I think she tried to tell mom.
Yeah.
But mom kind of like was like, oh, okay.
Like brush it off. Yeah.
So she didn't know.
Yeah.
And then we went to see my dad too. I think it was for his birthday. And she told him too. She was like, Papa, you know my mom has a baby in her belly.
Oh my god.
And then my dad was just like, okay. And I'm like, oh, he ain't listening. And then even like Jen and Aditya were like cracking up. Yeah. They were just like.
He did not.
No.
Yeah.
So even though she told my parents, they don't know.
Yeah.
Because they brushed her off.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then I think it was like that next week I started spotting. And so I was like, but it was just like light, right? So I was like, okay. But then gradually that day it was like more.
Okay.
So then I went to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And I was like, like I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
But now I'm like bleeding.
Yeah.
And they were like, are you like heavy bleeding? I was like, right now it's just spotting. And they're like, any clots or anything? I was like, no. And they're like, okay, well, we could check you out. And which sometimes people spot, but it's fine.
Oh, it's normal? Okay.
So then they took like blood and all that. And then we were waiting to get an ultrasound done to see. And then was in there for a few hours. And then the doctor finally was like, okay, well, your levels, HCG level is really low.
Okay. What's that? HCG?
It's when, I think when you're pregnant, it's supposed to be like elevated.
Okay. Oh, okay.
To like help with like your blood and all that
Got
stuff.
it. Uh-huh.
She was like, well, your HCG level is really low. And it could show that maybe like you're miscarrying.
Oh, okay.
And then she was like, and when the ultrasound, it's not showing anything. And so that's when I told her, I was like, well, this is where it's confusing because it could either be 10 weeks or 6 weeks.
Oh, I see.
And she was like, oh, okay. And she was like, it's possible. But she was like, but given the fact that you're bleeding now. And she was like, if you're like, have you passed any clots? And then I was like, no.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. But she was like concerned about like the HCG level.
Yeah.
Because she said that was really low. And that's indicative of miscarrying. So I was like, okay. And then she was like, come back. She was like, call that clinic tomorrow. See if they can get you in for an ultrasound.
Okay.
If they can't, come back to the emergency room.
Okay.
You know? So I was like, okay. And so then left the emergency room. And I bawled all the way home.
Yeah.
Because I knew already.
Yeah.
And then, like, that night, or, like, the next day, I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, like, the whole, like, everything. The formation, like, the everything.
Really?
Yeah. It, like, passed.
Really?
So then I was, like, I cried even more.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, like... Because I was holding on to the hope.
Exactly.
That
it was just small.
You know,
yeah.
that it wasn't a miscarriage. That it was like the normal, like, bleeding that you can have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, every time I was like, oh, please don't, like, I don't want, you know.
Yeah.
But then, like, eventually, like, the next day, I think maybe midday, it, like, passed through. And I was like, okay, well, there it is. And then that's when I started to cramp. And then more blood clots coming. And that's when I knew already that I had a miscarriage.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah.
And then only 2 of my friends knew. And I told them because we had went to California Adventure. And I didn't want to be forced on the rides and be like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2 of them knew, and then just the sisters. But other than that, no one knew. I was waiting for that weekend.
Yeah.
And then be able to announce it.
Exactly.
But no.
Do you feel kind of relieved that you didn't announce it?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you would have to go through all the talking and telling them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why they say, like, don't announce till after your first trimester.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just because the first trimester is so critical.
Oh,
that
okay.
you don't really know.
Got it. Yeah.
What can happen in that first trimester. But yeah, I mean, now everyone will know.
Yeah. But it's good that you're sharing this because, like you said, like not a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah,
and
I know.
yeah, so what's the best way, or what helped you get through dealing with all that?
I don't know. I feel like just crying it out, and then just being so grateful for what I have now, you know? And I always keep it in the back of my head that how hard it is for me to conceive. You know what I mean? So even getting this short amount of time of being pregnant for a few weeks was a blessing already, you know?
Exactly.
Because it is hard for me. I mean, Jordan's what? 4?
4 years old.
So I mean, in 4 years.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So I'm just grateful that it happened.
Exactly.
Not grateful that the miscarriage happened, but grateful that I was able to conceive again.
Exactly.
Yeah. That Jordan Jalen wasn't like a fluke.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So if it happens again, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Just I guess some advice for people is don't ask. When are you gonna have another a kid?
Another one. Yeah.
Oh, when are you gonna have another baby? Or like, you know.
Or even when are you gonna have a baby?
When are you gonna have a baby?
Because you don't know people's situations.
Yeah, I feel, and I know people mean well. You know, it's not out of like they're not trying to be mean.
Exactly.
It's out of love, but like for me, it's hard for me to be get pregnant. So as much as I would be able to be like, oh yeah, in a couple months. I can't, like, I don't know when it's gonna happen. Yeah. So, and there's other people struggling with like infertility and, you know, so it's not for lack of trying or lack of wanting. It's just difficult for other people.
Yeah.
So my advice is don't ask or don't, you know.
Yeah. Treat it as, you know, you don't, the same thing as how you don't ask women if they're pregnant.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, so same thing. Don't ask if a woman's pregnant. Don't ask when they're going to have kids.
Or when they're due.
Yeah.
Because what if they're not even pregnant?
Exactly. Yeah. You never know.
But I can't. But, okay, so fun fact with my pregnancy, though, with Jordan and Jalen, I had a dream before I even knew I was pregnant. I had a dream that I was pregnant.
Really?
It was so weird, too. And I had, so I was dreaming that my friend was doing an ultrasound on me and was like, oh my god, you're pregnant. And then I was like, what? And then like right when I was gonna find out what it was, like I woke up. And so I had like text my friend like, hey fool, like I had a dream about you. And he's like, what? And then it was like 2 dreams in one too. And I told him, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I dreamt that you and your girl were gonna get back together, which they're married now. So I was like, oh my god, I dreamt that you guys are like back together. And then also you were taking an ultrasound of me, and then you said I was pregnant. And I was like, and then I woke up when you were going to tell me what it was. And he was like, what? And he was like, so? And I was like, so what? And he was like, so are you? And I was like, I don't know. Like, this is when I didn't know yet. I was like, I don't know. That was so funny. And then, like, a week after that was when I found out.
Dang.
And I was like, oh my God, I had a dream.
Yeah.
And I was like, and that's probably why I woke up, because it was going to say 2.
2, yeah. Twins.
And so I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah. So.
That's crazy. See, that makes me think about what the whole tarot card reading Octa Tintin did at the beginning of the year. How she was like, oh yeah, I see fertility and da-da-da. I'm like, you need to stop. So yeah.
Oh yeah, because you took out your thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have my birth control anymore. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it
No.
But yeah, you guys, so you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk, we're here.
Yeah, and then if you have stories to tell, please leave them in the comments below. We'll love to read them.
Yes, I would love to read it. In some ways, I still feel like I'm alone, but I know I'm not. I know that there's people that have gone through what I've gone through. But, I mean, I didn't mind sharing because I know that it could help somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, or if you have questions for me on, like, everything that I had to go through and stuff, just reach out, I guess. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
A lot of it is a big blur.
Yeah.
Because just everything I had to go through.
It's very traumatic.
All the tests,
yes.
everything, every other day was something. So I feel like it was so long, but yet so fast and so much information. Like a lot of it is just like,
yep, exactly.
what just happened? You know?
Exactly.
But yeah. So, Jor, do you want to come say bye? Okay. Don't mind her makeup, guys.
Yeah, she was doing her makeup. Brows on fleek. You.
So yeah, so this is Jordan.
How old are you now?
4.
Say still 4.
Still 4.
Oh yeah, you're in the last episode. I forgot.
Still 4. But yeah, you guys, this is my little miracle baby.
Mm-hmm.
And her angel sister watching over her every day. Right?
What's your sister's name?
Jalen.
Yeah. Okay. So that is our episode today, you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. And thank you, Ate, so much for being so vulnerable and sharing your story. It hits the heart for sure.
Yeah.
But like you said, we have this little one. I can't wait. She's such a character. She's amazing. Like, I can't wait to see where she goes in life, honestly.
For real, sure.
Easter hunt here.
I know. Yeah, you look like the Grinch with your brows.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to share. We're happy to be listening ears for anybody.
Yes.
And just thank you for like taking time out to even listen to this episode. It might be triggering for some people. Sorry if it is. But just want to put my story out there just for anyone who can relate or anyone who needs to relate to something.
Exactly.
So, just want to put it out there, and we're just trying to like speak our truths too.
Yes. Yeah.
And don't want to seem like everything's so
like behind closed doors. We're trying to be transparent. Yes.
Yeah, and we're not trying to be like, oh, cookie cutter perfect.
Yeah, because it's not always perfect.
No.
Yeah.
So just to be able to share, a part of ourselves.
So, yeah. Okay, so say like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Say like and subscribe
Love and subscribe to my channel.
And
And thanks for having Jordan Day with me.
thanks for having Jordan Day with me.
Thanks for crying with me.
Thanks for crying
Yes,
with me. We
thanks
did
for
some
crying
today,
with
huh?
us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we all did.
So thank you for joining Morning Cup of Joe.
And Jizz.
And Jay.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having Jordan with me.